Welcome back to the Anger Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, an interesting topic that I want you and I to discuss. We thought about this last week and did get the opportunity to record it, but I do want to talk about it today, and that's Turki Alalshikh and the partnership that he currently has with Top Rank Golden Boy Promotions, but he doesn't have any type of partnership currently with the PBC, and I don't know if the PBC is headed down in this direction, but we know that Gervonta Davis was interested in fighting Lomachenko. Lomachenko backed out. And we know that currently Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson are two of the top fighters that are currently on the list of Shakur Stevenson. Number one, Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko are on the top list for Gervonta Davis. And not only are they on the head of the list, the top of the list for Gervonta Davis, but they're also on the top of the list for boxing fans, right? We want to see those fights. Those are fights that we mainly want to see. Even currently, it looks like maybe even Devin Haney might have some type of affiliation with Turki Alalshikh as well. So Turki is getting his hands and putting his hands in a lot of different areas, and we've also heard him talking about how he's not going to work with specific fighters like Canelo Alvarez, because personally I think Turki Alalshikh was, to a certain extent, a bit disrespectful to Canelo Alvarez and expect him to then want to work with him. I don't understand that. I don't know what's currently going on with Tim Tszyu, but recently he stated that he's not going to work with Tim Tszyu either. He doesn't understand the way, whatever that meant. So clearly anybody that's not, in my personal opinion, it feels like anybody that's just not sucking up to Turki Alalshikh that he doesn't want to work with. Yeah. You throw out an offer you don't accept, he doesn't want to work with you anymore, or something like that. It seems like to me, Jay. So Gervonta Davis made the comment of he got to send me a Ferrari, and I think Gervonta Davis was saying that in jest, but I don't think two Ferraris, but I don't think Gervonta Davis was saying that in a serious manner, and I don't think he has any intent on working with Turki Alalshikh, or at least going over there and fighting on one of his cars. And if that's the case, I have to wonder, Jay, and it's been put out there by some of the people that follow this channel, we thought about the same thing. Is it possible that Turki Alalshikh is already attempting to, or will attempt to at some point, freeze Gervonta Davis out of some of those big fights? Because those are some of the fights that Gervonta Davis can make that would be big for the sport of boxing. Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko. Now, I don't think they're massive fights, but I think nonetheless there are options. Pitbull Cruz is no longer an option after losing to Rio. Jay, can you think of another fight at 135 that Gervonta Davis will be interested in making? I can't think of one right now.
Only one would be, but Zepeda.
But Zepeda's with Golden Boy, and they're probably trying to match him up with Shakur Stevenson.
That's all outside there, but there's no one that's outside of that.
Yeah,
that you can think of.
Yeah, those are some of his biggest and best options when I think about 135. If you go up to 140, he may have some options at 40 for sure, and he probably could take a fight, maybe 2 fights at 140, perhaps. Even though Ryan Garcia is with Golden Boy Promotions, I think Ryan Garcia is a big enough star where he doesn't have to go and do a Riyadh card. So maybe in a year or less, a little bit less than a year, when Ryan Garcia comes off suspension, maybe he'll have the opportunity to fight somebody like Ryan Garcia again in a rematch. Who else is at 40, Jay, that might be an interesting fight for Gervonta if he chose to move up there?
40, I mean, you can look at the champions, Pollo.
Yeah. Who is he with, though?
I thought he was with PBC because he fought. He just beat Antoine Rushman.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
maybe he's with PBC, but
you don't got much there. You really don't got much there neither. I mean, we know T.O. was with Top Rank, so he ain't doing. Devin Haney, as you mentioned earlier, Devin Haney's a free agent, but he's kind of associated with the other side, with them over there as well. And he just came off that loss to Ryan. Oh, no, I'm sorry, no contest to Ryan.
Yeah,
he lost. Jack Catterall, Regis. No one that really makes you get you like, okay. Because if Sabril Matias at 1, then that would have been like, okay.
But he's with Matchroom.
Damn.
Yeah, he's with Matchroom now.
Strike it out. So,
I don't.
Yeah, it's not much there.
I'm about to go to PBC website real quick because I know they have a list of their boxers there, and I can't think of those to me were the 2 fights that made the most sense over the next year, in my opinion. I can't think of anything. I can't think of another. Not something that we were really, really hoping to, to see. You know what I mean? So PBC at 130. Let's do 130. 130. You got Hector Garcia. He already beat Santa Cruz. They still got him listed at 135, but Pitbull Cruz, but he just lost, so that's not gonna happen.
It's so big. I mean, what you gonna do? Bring De Los Santos up?
Yeah, Rolly Romero rematch. So like, so I'm saying, man, like I don't see a lot of options. Yeah, I mean, Rayo, you might be able to if Tank wants to go up and maybe take on Rayo. I think that's a possibility, but man, outside of those individuals, man, I think Turki Alalshikh may be in a position where he can try to freeze Gervonta Davis out. And I'm not saying because there could be something that we're not thinking about right now. And I don't know if Turki Alalshikh had any impact in terms of Lomachenko and why Lomachenko chose not to take the fight. I mean, certainly that was going to be his biggest payday. And now he's talking about the end of the year, but I don't know, man. Shakur Stevenson certainly looks like he's headed in that direction. I mean, he's been at multiple cards, if I'm not mistaken. He was definitely at Bud's card. He was sitting right next to those guys, and we know that Eddie Hearns is courting him. And Turki Alalshikh said something directly to him, like, "Hey, I need an answer," so forth and so on, which was very direct. Like, I get it, man, but you gotta be able to speak to people in a different way, man. And like again, money doesn't always talk, Jay.
Arrow ain't gonna kiss your ass. Arrow ain't gonna do that no matter how much money you pulling up. All money ain't good money.
Yeah, facts. I'm not saying it's money not good money. I'm not saying it's money not good money, but come on, man.
But Tank said he don't have to go over there. Even with him being froze out, Tank's still gonna be able to get his one way or another. And I want to see how people move the blame on this. It's obviously what's being done. I want to see how people move the blame. Oh, Tank, it's all Tank's fault, all PBC fault, or are they gonna call for what it is? It's looking weird, very weird right now. The fights we all want to see: Tank versus Shakur, Tank versus Loma, then Tank versus Tio. And if there's one person involved in this, he's doing the exact opposite what people were praising him for, was giving the fights we want to see.
Yeah, but here's what's going to be so interesting about that, Jay, because at the end of the day, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to praise it. They're going to start talking about the fact that they felt that certain fighters were frozen out by PBC in some way, shape, or form, and then they're going to praise a guy that is basically duplicating what you accused another entity of doing. If that's what he's doing, that's the thing that'll be interesting to me to see if there's a level of hypocrisy that we see through the sport, on Twitter, in the comment section, in the Discord. It'll all be very interesting. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this. It's a possibility that Turki Alalshikh is trying to freeze out Gervonta Davis. I don't know. But certainly he's positioned himself to do so. So will we see it in the future? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are